Why do we think it is okay to blackmail God? When we receive a promise from God, we are excited, we are happy, we are so pumped. But after waiting for months and years, and it doesn't come to pass, some will even walk away from God completely. So what kind of God is this? I knew when this is what I've been praying for. I received all this prophecy, I received all these promises, I received all these signs that God's about to do it. It's been 5 years, it's been 10 years, it's been 20 years. Nothing has happened. What's the point? A lot of people walk away from God. And those who don't walk away from God, when they receive unfulfilled promises, they become bitter towards God. And they threaten God. And sometimes they will verbalize what they will stop doing if God doesn't come through for them. Eventually they stop doing it. I've witnessed that. I've seen that even in my ministry, where people who are playing a role in the church, they will say, I'm looking for this, I've been praying about this, and it hasn't happened, so what's the point? And they will stop doing what they are doing. It's a form of blackmail, and it is wrong. And the Bible shows that no one can blackmail God. The Bible says very clearly in Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6, it says, because without faith it is impossible to please God. Those who comes to God must come believing that He is, and is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. See, we can't blackmail God, but we can reason with God. Isaiah chapter 18 verse 19, Isaiah 1:18, it says, come. Let me go there. It's Isaiah chapter 1 verse 18. It says, come and let us reason together. The same God who said in Isaiah 59 that His hand is not short, that He cannot reach us, neither is His ear heavy, that He cannot hear us, is the same God who commands us in Isaiah chapter 1 verse 18. He said, come now and let us reason together. So it is okay to go to God like a lawyer. Let me show you what I mean. We can go to God like a lawyer, because that's exactly what the demonic people do. Look at Matthew chapter 8. Let me see. Let me read from verse 28. Matthew 11:28. Matthew 11. It said, when Jesus had come to the other side of the country of the Gerasenes, there met Him 2 demon-possessed men coming out of the tomb, exceedingly fierce, so that no one could pass that way. And suddenly they cried out, saying, what have you to do with us, Jesus, you Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before our time? That is the demonic contending. We have the right to existence right now. It's not our time to be judged. So you are here on a legal ground, basically. Have you come to torment us before our time? We know our time of torment is coming, but it's not yet time. So why are you here? In Mark chapter 1, the Bible said almost the same thing. Let me go there too. In Mark 1, when Jesus went to the temple, He met a man, I think, is that the place where He met a man with a withered hand? And the demon in the man spoke. Let me see. The demon in the man spoke like, what are you here to do? Okay, so Mark chapter 1 verse 23 said, now there was a man in their synagogue with an unclean spirit. Sorry, not a withered hand. He said, with an unclean spirit. And the unclean spirit cried out, saying, let us alone. What have we to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Did you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. Did you see that? These are evil spirits who are not led, because the Bible says, as many as are led by the Spirit of God are the sons of God. They know how to reason with the Holy One. We who have the Spirit of God only complain and force. God hates when we bellyache and cry. Nobody loves a child who only complains about what they don't have. A child doesn't know how hard a parent works to provide for his needs. See, it is okay when we are babies. When a baby is less than 1, they pee on themselves, they go to the restroom on themselves, and that's normal. But if you have a 4-year-old who still pee on himself, go poop on himself, you have a child with developmental problem. Or you have a child who is abusive, who just want to abuse you and just make you work extra hard. No parent will stand for that. But do you know, as a child of God, that's what we're doing? There's a place to reason with God. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 18. There's a place. No, there's no place for complaining and bellyaching. God doesn't like that. Because when we complain and bellyache, we don't have spiritual intelligence to know that what the Bible said in John 3:16, for God so loved the world. The word so there is unquantifiable. The love of God is unquantifiable. A child of God must never feel like an orphan. God has loved us with an everlasting love. And it said in Romans chapter 8, no good things. It said in Romans chapter 8, it said, he that did not withhold his son from us. He did not withhold his son from dying for us on the cross. Why will he not, along with us accepting his son, not give us every good thing? Until we understand the love of God for us, we always feel like an orphan.